That was a lot of videos. Okay, so after 4 days and just a little over 50 hours, I have 150 video concept ideas for this channel and 75 for our business channel for a total of 225. So I thought it would be kind of cool to recap the week and just share a tip with you each day, kind of my big takeaway from each day as I did all the keyword research and figured things out. So here are the 4 to 5 big takeaways from essentially planning 225 videos in 50 hours. And kicking things off with day number 2, I actually came up with the idea for this style of vlog this morning, so I didn't record anything yesterday. But the big takeaway from yesterday, spending just under 10 hours going through keyword research, and this is going to feel like a throwaway, but remembering that your keywords are representative of an actual person. I think it's really easy, especially for me, to start looking at search volume and just the statistics and typing in YouTube suggested search all day long and forget that every single keyword represents an actual person who's trying to solve a problem or just is curious and learning something new. And sometimes you'll find that keywords look really great, but in the context of what you want to do with your business, the type of people that you want to attract, doesn't really make sense. I think a perfect example on this particular channel is Google Tag Manager, Google Analytics, Google Tag Manager, Google Analytics, I promise this is going to be quick, and then how to make money online, right? So with Google Tag Manager and Google Analytics, there are a ton of things I could talk about, but in the context of you and your business, it's not going to matter until you're spending, 30 to 50K a month in ad spend. Some of our clients do that, so we do all that advanced Google Tag Manager and Google Analytics stuff. But for now, making a UTM parameters video is as much as I should do to help you in your business because you should move on to other stuff, even though those keywords could potentially rank really well. Then on the flip side, I'm doing 2 examples just in case that one didn't make any sense. This is like the 3rd or 4th take. Then on the other side, we have how to make money online, right? There is a ton of traffic for those keywords and every, affiliate marketing and all that other fun stuff. But there's a reason I don't talk about that. And that's because the type of person that really speaks to, even though it's a great keyword and I could do a lot of marketing videos for it, that's just not the ideal audience member of this particular channel or anything that we do, because I want to help entrepreneurs who already have an idea. They have an idea and they're saying, how do I bring this to the world? How do I market it? Not someone who's just, how do I make a bunch of money online? Because if you want to make a bunch of money online, I'm a broken record, but I really think you should just trade options. So if you just want to make money. For the rest of the actual entrepreneurs, Google Tag Manager, Google Analytics, to a certain extent, those keywords are going to make sense. Obviously, there's some advanced ones that just aren't going to be helpful and will just be anecdotal. So I hope that made sense. I tried many different versions of this explanation. I think this is the best one. So I've got to get back to keyword research, and then I'll share what I learned today on day number 2. So tip number 2, day number 3 here, definitely need to have done a better job planning this out, but we need to talk about the importance of understanding the who behind your keywords, because it's really easy to forget that this is actual people, kind of like tip number 1. So in that vein, let's go ahead and take a look at this example with email management. Now, the way I come up with a core keyword is I essentially look for a big problem. In this particular instance, it's managing your email and not spending so much time in your inbox, and then figuring out what is the smallest keyword possible that represents those types of searches. In this particular instance, it became email management and email productivity. I'll use management as an example. So as you can see here, when you start typing in the core keyword, YouTube gives you a bunch of suggestions. So step number 1 is write down all those suggestions. And then step number 2, as you can see in this screenshot, is open up a private browsing or a private tab and go through every single keyword search and compare the results. Because what you want to understand is, are these keywords getting at the same thing, or do they represent different people? So in this example, you can see viewer A and viewer B, let's just say viewer A and viewer B for the first 2, email management and email tips, I'm going to call them the same viewer. It's just the same videos rearranged. So the top same search results are pretty much the same, just in a different order. Then you see the third one, as soon as I start talking about Drive or Gmail here, or I shouldn't say Drive, Gmail, all of a sudden the search results change. But if we go to this next screenshot, when you scroll down past the first 5 search results, you'll see again, all the videos are pretty much the same, except the last one, it's 6 through 10 instead of 1 through 5. So what this tells me, when I'm making a video, if I'm going to make a video about email management, the viewer A and viewer B, the first 2 keywords represent the same video, the same person. I can get away with that. But when it comes to the next one, the third one, that should actually be a completely different video, because people who are specifically typing in Gmail want things that are very, very specific to Gmail, and they're looking for a different type of video compared to the first 2 searches. Now, this may seem either obvious or it may seem ridiculous and unnecessary. In either case, whichever kind of camp you're in, this is what it takes to do proper keyword research for YouTube, in my humble opinion. And the reason I think this is so powerful is we'll go to the final screenshot here, where I've done searches based upon email tools, then email software, and then email tutorial. Email tutorial, you'll notice, has similar video search results as to our first 2 searches of email management and tips. So I'm pretty much going to say, if I make a video for one of those keywords, it's going to cover email tutorial as well, except I would just use tips in the keyword, because I think in the title, because I think email management tips is going to give me the best chance of ranking for all 3 of those keywords. But when it comes to the tools and software, obviously I'm getting very different search results. So I have to dig in and figure out, what are these videos about, and what are these videos talking about specifically that's different than all the other searches that I've done in the past, and then of course make a decision whether or not it makes sense given my ideal viewer, right? Because just because this is a potential email ranking opportunity doesn't mean it's going to be relevant to you as my actual ideal viewer. The last thing I want to leave you with here is the center search result. You'll see that there is a video that only has 750 views that's ranking number 1. So just 2 years ago, I would have gone for that keyword, because it's clear that a small channel with very little views can actually rank. And I love this example because it shows you don't have to be a large channel. I'm celebrating 40,000 subscribers today, which is crazy. And so, just 2 years ago, I would have gone straight head on to this. Now, because of my subscriber base, because I've been doing this for such a long time, I might actually have a chance on email management and email management tips, whereas just a couple years ago, I didn't. So it's always, of course, in the context of how big your channel is. I think I've been doing enough talking for tip number 2, so it's time for me to get back to work doing research, and then we'll figure out what the heck the next couple tips are going to be. Now, this next one should be self-explanatory, but just don't copy people. Just don't copy other creators. It is super, super clear when you're copying, kind of like this example here. And so there are going to be times where you're looking at search results and you'll see that everyone has already used kind of the buzzwords, so they've used the numbers that you want to use. And that's okay if your titles are similar, if almost not the same, because you're all trying to rank for the same keyword. You're all trying to give the same person a tremendous amount of value. But there's a fine line between drawing inspiration from success and then simply copying other people's work or other people's creative. So just a tip like that, just keep in mind that people are clicking because they want to watch you, not because they want to watch you try to be someone that you're not. And so those are all my big tips and takeaway. Hope you got some value out of that and some inspiration. And I just want to leave you with, it's important to not lose yourself and why you're doing video content, or what your ideal customer or viewer is going to get out of your content. At the end of the day, keywords just represent a mechanism of connecting you and your content with someone who's actually going to enjoy it. And I realize there are a lot of channels out there that aren't keyword based. I just don't happen to have the skill set to be able to do that. I know there are a lot of channels that grow 100% off suggested. That's just not me. 50 to 54% of our views still come from search. And so until that changes, I'm going to be very, very heavily invested in finding the keywords that represent topics and content ideas that are actually going to be helpful to you and your business. But of course, you always have free reign. It's your channel, right? If you think you know best and you think you know what your ideal viewer or customer is really going to get value out of, then you can make that video, even if there isn't a keyword for it. So I am nice and tired. I stayed up till almost 1 a.m. last night, just finishing that off, so I'd at least have one day to walk around the city here. So in the next vlog, we'll do an apartment tour, and I'll talk about why I spent so much on this staycation. So until the next, keep building the business you love.